Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. As a big fan of Timothée Chalamet, this new project of his is certainly one that I would not have expected him to have been involved with, but with the masterful direction of Luca Guadagnino, the pair worked together for the second time after Call Me By Your Name. So this is Kier's Reviews and this is my review of Bones and All.
I asked a question. Hear this, you dumb hoe.
Don't talk to her like that.
Hey!
You're out of control, buddy.
You at the store or something?
No, I'm not at the store, but I'm gonna escort you out of it.
Look and see what happens.
See what happens?
Yeah.
What's gonna happen? Something bad's gonna happen?
Yeah.
Bones and All is one of the most jarring yet beautiful films I've seen all year, and even though it deals with some very revolting and disgusting themes and inhumane acts, the core story is where the movie shines the best, and given that there are three amazingly committed actors sharing the screen with a brilliant director at the helm, this film went beyond my expectations and has established its place as one of my favourite movies of 2022. In order to clear the elephant in the room, this is a story about two young teenagers who come together but have deep-seated issues with having cannibalistic tendencies. The cannibalism in this context is a theme that is very underlying amongst the actual romantic plot, but even though the scenes are quite horrifying, even though they are in short supply as they are majorly spread out throughout the 130-minute runtime, it doesn't overwhelm the experience of investing in these two characters, since Bones and All is mainly a love story with the cannibalistic theme interwoven into it. It's graphic and realistic to the point where it is hard to differentiate the visual effects and the practical effects, but that blend is where the horror in this movie really lies.
That was nice what you did for that mom in there.
I don't usually talk to anyone after. I don't actually meet many others. I'm sort of glad not to.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm just saying, I'm not an asshole.
Should probably go anyway up close so you can see blood.
We're fine.
Even though it may seem that the overwhelming aspect of Bones and All is the act of cannibalism, it really isn't, and the trailers really misled me before going into this as I was expecting an all-out horror film, but while it does have its horrific sequences, the proper story is one about love, making for a strange but emotionally gratifying coming-of-age story. Separating the horror from it, Bones and All really is a great love story, and the way that both Timothée Chalamet and Taylor Russell portray these characters seamlessly builds up a relationship that the audience unknowingly invest themselves into, despite their uncontrollable tendencies. Even though the first half hour isn't at all about love and Chalamet doesn't make his entrance until the half-hour point, Russell is able to work brilliantly with Mark Rylance, who I will get to, in establishing the rules of the world in which these characters are in. Once Chalamet and Russell meet, it's instantly progressive with the love story, and sometimes it's so seamless that it doesn't even feel like a highlighted genre or character arc in the fact that it draws such a professional performance from both actors.
Just always thought.
You just thought some people are creepy. It's better if we all steer clear of one another. We're dangerous to non-eaters, but we can hurt one another just as bad. I hope you're hearing me on this.
Mark Rylance, however, is the best part of the entire film as he portrays such a creepy and unpredictable character that could snap at any point he chooses, and the consequences that he envies to enact is psychologically terrifying. And given that he isn't an overbearing villain or anything on Chalamet and Russell's characters, he seeps into the background and comes out when he's least expected to appear. The way I thought about Rylance's performance and character was similar to what I thought of Rebecca Ferguson's role in Dr. Sleep, as she was the main villain but wasn't in the film frequently whatsoever, yet still held a threatening essence about her consistently, even when it came to being in between sequences that she wasn't in. And I honestly couldn't stop comparing how her character was written to how Rylance's was written. He creates such a sadistic aura that is chilling to have to sit and watch, but he does it so effortlessly that he instantly haunts your mind whenever he has a scene. Having him alongside Chalamet and Russell was perfect, and without him, this wouldn't have been as impactful as it was, so I thought the casting choices were spot on for this movie.
You didn't. In the car in 3 minutes. Whatever you can take in 3 minutes. Go!
Luca Guadagnino's last two feature films was the terrifying body horror remake of Dario Argento's classic horror film Suspiria in 2018, and the year before that was his romantic project with Call Me By Your Name. So while the director combines his mastery that he established in those two projects, he creates Bones and All by highlighting the love and the relationship within this story, while also setting it to the backdrop of a horror theme. Since this is a very confronting watch at times, it certainly takes elements from both Suspiria and Call Me By Your Name, and I personally loved what he did to have that balance throughout Bones and All, because it didn't feel like there was a moment in which I didn't believe the relationship that both actors so wonderfully brought to life. This may not be as disturbing as Suspiria, but the concept of cannibalism is very horrific and is to be left up to the viewer's discretion on whether their tolerance of these themes and the amount of blood and gore makes Bones and All a movie worth sitting through. It's hard to describe how good this movie is since it is quite a distasteful film, but there is a beauty in it that overpowers the graphic nature of it, and for that I can't say I enjoyed it, but I appreciated everything in how it was created from script to screen.
I feel like some kind of weird new superhero.
What about afterward? What'd you feel about it? What'd you think?
I don't remember after.
That's bullshit.
Hey, I'm not just gonna tell you what you want to hear. You ask me a question, I gotta answer it.
Luca Guadagnino's newest horror romance film blends two of his previous projects together in order to create a coming-of-age story that is set to the backdrop of the horrors of cannibalism. This is certainly not an easy watch the entire time, but the runtime and pace is excellently consistent, and it proves to make the experience entertaining to get through with no ounce of boredom sneaking through. The blood and gore is full on in the sequences that it needs to be, but in terms of how frequent these scenes are, there aren't too many, but they do still make a horrific impact, despite how spread out they all are in its perfect 131-minute runtime. Timothée Chalamet, Mark Rylance and Taylor Russell are all brilliant and truly bring some great performances in order to make Guadagnino's newest project as amazing as it is. It's distasteful sometimes, but it is a very interesting watch, so I'll give Bones and All a 9 out of 10. Thank you all so much for watching. Are you going to see Bones and All? Let me know below. As always, be sure to have a look at my previous reviews of The Menu and Glass Onion: A Knives Out Mystery. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and follow me on Letterboxd and Instagram for all of my latest movie reviews. This has been Kiers Reviews, signing off for now.
Don't forget to like, follow, and obey.